Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Teen Crafternoon. I'm Miss Randy, and today we're going to do a simple, fun, abstract art project using watercolors and salt. So let me show you what we're going to be making. So this is an example of the piece that we're going to be making today. We are going to use a couple of different techniques to accomplish our art piece. We're going to be using a white crayon to sort of create some resist art. We're also going to be using salt, just regular table salt, to create a sort of crystallized effect. So it looks like outside during winter with the snow drifting around. We're also going to use some watercolor paper. You can also use mixed media paper. I have a simple 8 watercolor palette here. I have some water and some paper towels as well as some paintbrushes. I did use some painter's tape to sort of tape my piece of paper down. That's just so that I can make sure that it doesn't move around and it's secure. What I would recommend, if possible, because watercolors can be messy, you can cover your table with some kind of tablecloth if you have that available. Otherwise, just be prepared to work on a surface that you can clean up. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do today is draw some snowflakes on our paper with the white crayon. So you want to make sure that you press down press down hard on the paper when you're drawing your snowflakes. You are going to be putting watercolor over the top of these, and so the better you do with drawing your snowflakes, the more they'll come through after you put watercolor over them. So I've drawn about five or six snowflakes on my paper, and I'm just going to add the watercolor next. So we're just going to do some quick just watercolor wash over the snowflakes. We've done a few other Crafternoon series with watercolor paint, so if you want to learn some different techniques, I would recommend watching those videos. You could also check out the e-resource that we have that you can access with your library called Creative Bug. They have tons of tutorials there and several on watercolor as well. For me, I'm just creating this sort of abstract art piece. So I'm just going to do a wash of a few different colors that I like. So I have some green and some purple and some blue here. You want to make sure that you move a little quickly, and there's no right or wrong way to do this. But we do want to make sure that once we finish with the watercolor paint, that our paper is a little damp, because you need it to be damp when we add the salt. So that's why I'm just kind of doing some simple painting here. And so here you can see we've got our watercolor piece here. You can kind of see the snowflakes coming through for the resist art. The next step is going to be adding the salt. And I just have some simple table salt here. You can try and test out different types of salt if you want, like sea salt. I've found that table salt tends to work best. So I'm just going to put a little bit in my palm here, and I'm going to sprinkle it over my art piece. If it's dried up, if it's not as damp, you can always go back in and add a little water onto your piece. I've found that you don't want too much water because the salt is going to kind of spread the watercolor, and if you have too much water when adding the salt, it will sort of wash everything out. So there's no, like I said, there's no right or wrong to this. It's just kind of an experiment. If you don't like it, you can just start over because it's a really simple project. So I've added my salt here, and that's it. That's all you need to make this fun little piece. So here's one that I made a little bit earlier today. As you can see, you can wipe off all the salt crystals, but it kind of does this great little effect when you're finished. You can see it better in this larger piece here. It makes it look like a fun winter scene. If you don't have the patience to let it dry overnight, of course you can always use maybe like a blow dryer to dry all the paint and get everything set so you can look at your piece a little bit earlier. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you do decide to make this at home, we'd love to see what you've done. And you can share it with us on social media using the hashtag FountaindaleLib. If you'd like to see more projects like this, I recommend you visit our website at fountaindale.org/events. Or if you'd like to see more Teen Crafternoons, particularly the one that Miss Adriana just did last month in December, where she showed us how to create some winter tree art using watercolors, I would recommend that you visit our YouTube channel at fountaindale.org/YouTube.